Hello. In this video, I'm going to provide the solution to the question that is seen. Again, it is a function question and it was taken from the year 2009 BGCSE. It's a paper 3 question and it's number 9. And so there are 4 parts to this question. I'm going to provide the solution using a step-by-step approach where I will answer each of the questions. It is my hope that you will be able to follow and dissect each of the steps. So, let's go. Part A. We want to use the function f of x and we want to find f of 3. This means where we see x in our original function, we're going to substitute 3 for x. Good. And our function says 5x, which is 5 times x. In this case, our x is replaced using the number 3. So multiplication comes before subtraction with PEMDAS. 5 times 3, and we are going to subtract 7. All right, 15 minus 7 leaves us with 8. So we would have completed part A, which asks us to substitute, find the value of f of 3. Let us look at our part B. We want to find the value of x where g of x is equal to 7. This is my g of x. I need to make this part of the equation equal to 7. So let me write my g of x. This is my g of x and I want to make it equal to 7. 3 plus x over 2 is equal to 7. And then I solve for x. Alright, so let us simplify. I'm going to make this side a fraction since one side of my equation is a fraction. And then I'm going to cross multiply. Okay, numerator, a compounded numerator by this denominator. Because it is 1, this will remain. But now I am multiplying 2 by 7. And what I do from here is to solve using whatever method. I can use the balancing method, any method I want to, the carry across. If I'm to use the balancing method in this case, all right? I want to get rid of 3. I want x by itself on the left hand side. As a result, I do the opposite of 3. 3 is a positive, so I subtract 3. And if I do it on one side, I must do the exact same thing on the other side of the equation. This is called the balancing method. Remember, it is not the only method that we can use. So when we subtract, we will get 0, and that is going to cancel itself. And 14 minus 3 leaves us with 11. So the value of x here for part B is 11. Let us move to part C. We want a simplified expression for g f of x. G f of x. G. Remember what I said in my previous videos on this topic. The right goes into the left. So f is going into g. All right, so let's go. So where I see x for g, I am going to put 5x minus 7. X is shown here. Good. So what I will write is 3 plus, And instead of rewriting x, I am going to write 5x minus 7. Notice we are dividing by 2. So let's not forget that. Our next step is to simplify where possible. Please note, there are some cases that you cannot simplify in some cases. But once you can, you must always do so. Good? And we can connect. We have two constant terms. We have 3 and we have negative 7. And then we have our positive 5x, which stands on its own. Nothing is similar there. 3 minus 7 will give us a negative 4. Therefore, we can say GF of x is 5x minus 4, all divided by 2. Good? So this will be my answer for a simplified expression for GF of x. And just one more part to complete this question. We want to find the inverse of f. Let me write my function f. F of x is 5x minus 7. Good. So I want to find the inverse. Remember, we go through a number of steps. Good. This is my final part. Again, I'm going to go through using a step-by-step approach. First thing is, we rewrite here using y. My second step is to interchange x and y. So where I see y, it becomes x. Where I see x, it is going to become y. And then we do one more thing. The one more thing is, can you remember from our previous video? Make y the subject. To make y the subject, we will have to go through a number of steps. Logical, sequential, correct, whatever you want to call those steps. Let's go. Because I want y, I am going to keep this 5y on the right hand side for now. I'm going to get rid of this negative 7. I am going to take it across the equal sign to join my x. Remember, whenever we take anything, be it a constant term, an algebraic expression, once you are taking it across the equal sign, its sign will change. 7 is governed by negative. So when it goes across, it will become a positive. The 5y remains 5y. And there is only one more step. We're looking at a linear equation. Can you say what that step is? That step is to get rid of the 5. Because we want y. Right? Remember what we said? We are going to make y the subject. So the coefficient of y must be cancelled out. 5y means 5 times y. The opposite of multiplication is division. And remember, it's an equation and you must balance your equation. So if you divide one side by 5, you have to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we divide the other side by 5. So we simplify after this stage and we will see that y is equal to x plus 7 all divided by 5. And remember what I said to you? This is not my inverse. This has helped me. This is my working towards writing the inverse of f of x. and we write f inverse of x is equal to x plus 7 all over 5. Yes. Thank you. Any questions, concerns, queries? Feel free. I am open to positive criticism. Okay? One more for reinforcement now. So we looked at a question taken from one of the extended BGCSE papers. It is based on functions, and we were required to do 4 things, and that's what we did. We found the value of f of 3, g of x, where g of x is equal to 3. We simplified. Then we did g f of x. We substituted and we simplified. And then we had to use the function f of x to find its inverse. Okay? Always remember something that I say in math. There are many methods that are logical, sequential, and correct. I have just used one of the many possible methods. Thank you.